And so what I've spent a lot of time doing, especially over the last 10 years, is finding ways to create what we call an interactive reward event. Something the dog and the handler do together that is interactive, so that it requires both of us to do it, and it's of high value to the dog.
We're going to spend a little bit of time talking about what are the key things we want to pay attention to in terms of engagement when we start. And so there are certain things that an engagement, again, is simply that the dog will pay sustained attention to you and want something from you, right? So what I'm looking for is a dog that after you give it a reward of some sort doesn't immediately check out to do something else, right? So that drop off right after a reward, there's actually a technical name for it called post-reinforcement pause, which your dog, if I reward my dog in a very predictable way, I say yes and feed my dog, and yes and feed my dog. If after every reward I pause for a few seconds, reload, get ready again, then there's this period right after each reward where my dog says, no reward coming for 5 minutes. And at that point, or 5 seconds, and at that point they take that opportunity to look around and see what else is going on, and then they kind of check back in again. And what we would like is that the dog holds complete attention on us. So after they get a reward, they're there looking at you going, what else you got? You got another one? And the reason for this is, right after rewards, we're frequently going to prompt the dog, later in training, going to prompt the dog to do something else. And if they check out, they miss the next prompt. But if they're there, they're ready to go on to the next behavior, whatever that is, as we link behaviors together. So if I have a dog that really isn't interested in a toy or won't hold on to it, lacks possession, so lots of trainers, and I could do a crazy tangent, but there are lots of trainers that use possession to reinforce their dogs. Your dog wants something, you give it to them, you let them carry it around and hold on to the item. And so some people like a lot of possession in their dogs over the item. It makes playing with them and getting them to bring it back and let it go a little difficult, but the dogs can be highly motivated for it, right? And so if I were trying to increase possession in my dog, I would do that. The dog would get the toy, and I would lift up and slowly choke the dog off, and then when they let go, I'd snatch it away from them. And then they didn't let go voluntarily. They said, oh, I want it, I can't hold on, oh, got away, and it ran. Oh, next time I'll stay. Next time I won't give up, right? And so you make them want it more. So when we're teaching a dog to let go, one of the chief things is I need to be able to immobilize the object completely and wait for the dog to let go. So balls on strings are tricky for this, right? We usually do this with a tug initially, not a ball on a string. Eventually we transfer the learned behavior to a ball on a string because they're nice, because they're easier. But then I want to hold this thing, and I'm going to hold it totally still, and I'm not going to move it. And I'm not saying anything, right? And I'm just going to immobilize this thing. And I'm going to wait. And when the dog finally lets go, you get your fingers a couple times, so it's no big deal. And I'm not going to say, don't say anything, right? The mistake here is to tell the dog to let go. What I want my dog to figure out is letting go starts the game back up. Imagine that the piece of food in your hand is a toy. Right? So I don't want my dog to be chasing it and then suddenly have it disappear and come out somewhere else. They track it the whole time. So I'll keep in my, let's say I'm going to use my right hand. I'm right-handed, I'm going to use my right hand. I've got several pieces of food in my left hand and one in my right. I go and I take off, and here comes the dog chasing that. There they go, and as soon as they hit my hand, I let them have it and I just sort of follow through. And their momentum carries them that way a little bit. And I bring my hand over and I reload that same hand. I just reach, I bring this other hand over, I grab a piece, my target's right there, and I'm heading the other way. I feed them, I reload, the target's right back there. There it is. They get it, I reload, get it, reload, and I'm just going like that, right? And so what happens is the reload is really efficient, so the target never disappears. The dog gets it, and they shoot past me, like this dog will go fast. So if I go, there, boom, let it get it, and then head back the other way. There you go, that's it. Yep, there you go, that's it. And then you can see with a dog like this, how we hold the food is super important, right? Hey. If I hold the food and close it up, I'm going to get bit, right? So when I hold the food, see the dog push against my hand? But I can let the dog do that, and the dog can push against my hand, and I'm fine. Because, and look at how vigorously she's chomping, right? And then I let her have it. But because I'm holding it like this, she can shove against that, and she gets the side of my thumb and the flat of my fingers with the front of her teeth, and it just goes slide, slide, slide. Oh, hey, you don't know this game. Yeah. Oh, look, she keeps going, where'd it go? Jamie, there it is. Yay, there. And so lots of dogs do that initially, but eventually she figures, oh, it's in your hand. And she chases it. I can make her miss. She gets another there like that, and she just grab it. And then I didn't have anything. And at some point, you'll see that the dog doesn't care what's in your hand. And you do this, and I could have an empty hand, and I could run. Dog could boop, 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 chase my hand just because of the activity. So go ahead.